Hello and welcome to my first haul of 2026, and this one is a Poundland haul. And the reason I'm doing this one first is because unfortunately my Poundland is now closed. So what I wanted to do is just go in there and try and find some bits that I know that I'm going to need moving forward into the new year, because if you're new to my channel, hi, thank you for joining me. I know predominantly my stuff has been hauls and Christmas come shop with me, but I do like to do some form of budgeting DIY. So every year I thrive to make my home, this is my flat, a little bit better, as much as I can on a very, very tight budget. So I do all my own painting, I do all my own DIY, I do YouTube quite a lot of the stuff. I ask my brother-in-law his opinion because he is a builder. So yeah, I wanted to make my toolbox that little bit more handy. So I'm going to show you what I've got. It's not just all tools and stuff, blah. It's just a random load of stuff because it was 50% when I went in there, and then it went up to 75%. So let's get in. I will show you what I've got. You're probably thinking this is going to be like really, really random, but I have picked up these. These are very small paint rollers, and they are the foam rollers. I only use the foam ones because I find it quite difficult with the furry ones, if that's right, like this, the fleecy ones. I know that there's specially designed for different things, so I've used this with gloss, I've used this with matte emulsion, silk and other things, and it seems to be rolling on okay. These are normally £2. I can't actually find the receipt for the bits that I've got in here because I've been on several different occasions and put it all in so I could make the haul for you to show you, because it just closed like really, really fast. So I got myself a couple of those because I do go through them quite quickly. So they're still in Poundland. I'm just showing you this is, you know, what they've got, because they're so handy and they do run out quite quickly. I got myself a premium wallpaper scraper. I don't have wallpaper, I have lining paper, and I just paint, but obviously these are good for, my brain's not, I'm not braining. This is absolutely great for when like scraping off your tiles, whether you're doing any grouting, trying to scrape something off the floor. You could use this anywhere. I've used it in my windowsill when I'm scraping the paint off the windowsill. It's a scraper. You can use it for pretty much whatever you like, but again, these are handy. I've got one already. It's manky, it's old. You need to have some some fresh stuff in your toolbox. What is this? This is interior and exterior wood filler in white. So I picked this up because in my kitchen, I had my kitchen done, I think it was before COVID, and they didn't do it properly. And there is a gap between the wall and the skirting board, and I've been told I need some wood filler. And some of it's actually been damaged from when we had to put it in ourselves. So I thought I'll pick up some of this and I can speak to my brother-in-law. Hopefully when he comes round, he's going to be able to use this. He's probably got some of his own, but if you've got any holes in the, like your skirting board and stuff, like any nails or screws or whatever, this is pretty good. Did use some before, and it was a wood colour, because this one, as it says, it's white. So if you our skirting boards are white, but if you've got just wood, that is quite good for that. Please feel free to comment what else that you know that you can use that for. I know, as I said, it is a wood filler, which it does exactly what it says on the tin, but if you've got any other things that I could actually use it for, that would be really, really helpful. I've got myself some instant super glue. My daughter's always asking for glue, because the glue gun glue is good, but it's not as good as this. I'm quite good at sticking my fingers together with this stuff, but again, it's just so good to put in your toolbox. Or in your drawer, then you can just say, look, I've got some super glue, I'll go and quickly go and get it. One thing that I really wanted to get was masking tape. Now this one's absolutely huge. It's not a regular size one, because they're normally this is like 2 in 1. This is really good to put around on my carpet when I'm doing painting my, again, I'm talking about my skirting boards, painting my skirting boards, because obviously it's gloss and we've got carpet, so this is a good way of putting it around the edge and just to protect the carpet a little bit, or the wall above, and it sticks quite well. And you can actually use this, a good tip, I have a good tip. So if you put this, or even sellotape, but I do like using masking tape because it's a little bit cheaper and a bit more durable because you can rip it. If you put it around the edge of your carpet, it actually picks up the dirt that the Hoover can't get to. And I noticed that when I was doing my painting, the first time, that years ago when I painted, put it around, I just thought, oh, what's all this? Because you kind of get that brown, grey, sort of pinky colour around the edge that you sometimes, if you haven't got a nozzly thing to go around the skirting boards, it's such an easy way to grab hold of any dirt and dust. So yeah, that's my tip of the day, unless I can think of any more. But yeah, that is such a good idea for when you're doing some kind of DIY. If you haven't got anything, if you haven't even got a dustpan and brush, you could quite easily use that and just sort of pat it on the dirt just to pick it up. I picked up, this is a double-sided tape. Now, I haven't used this since I was at school, many years ago. But again, my daughter, she asked for sellotape, masking tape, gaffer tape, anything tape. So I thought, well, double-sided tape. So if she's making something, because my daughter's very creative, then she's got a choice of the different tapes because I'm collecting them at the moment. But yeah, double-sided tape, obviously you can do quite a lot of different things with those. I picked these up, automatic night lights. They come in a packet. I think these were originally £3, and they are the plug-in ones. And I was hoping to use one of these sort of like when you go to the loo, but we haven't got any plug sockets anywhere near the toilet. But there might be an idea for, because it says it's a nice night sensory on and off auto LED 1 watt power. So yeah, I'm going to try and find a good use for these. I really wanted to put it in my airing cupboard. That's another vlog that's going to be coming up. I'm going to be sorting out my airing cupboard because it's the only space that I have in my home to store mops, dehumidifiers, towels, you name it. It needs to be sorted, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But yeah, I'm going to be trying my best to utilise these in some dark areas because my flat is actually pretty dark. So just using, like, got a lamp behind me, we've got 2 lights in here. It's actually a pretty dark hotel. What's wrong with my brain? Centre yourself, Louise, it's going to be okay. Right, I also picked up a radiator key. I've never used one of these before. I've never bled radiators, but I was thinking, obviously, we're in our own home. We have radiators, not that I've ever used them. Well, I haven't used them for 6 years. Put it this way, I've not had my heating on for 6 years. But if they get air in them or they need bleeding, I have a radiator key just in case there's an emergency or somebody comes and they don't have one for any reason. I've got a friend who might know how to bleed a radiator or something like that. But something like this, as a homeowner, I don't know, I just want things just in case, and then you can just go and grab them and go, oh, have you got a radiator key I can borrow? Yep, got one in my toolbox. They wouldn't expect a girl to have one of those now, would they? Anyway, what have I got? I've got some more masking tape. I normally get, this is the bathroom and the kitchen sealant. I know Poundland do a few different ones. My Poundland is actually quite small. You'll see that with a lot of my shops down here where I live in the south. We're not lucky to have massive shops. So when we come across stuff like this, we're really, really grateful because this can be really, really expensive, and it's a 151 Professional, so I know that's a decent brand. I always reseal around the bath, around the sink if it's needed, because obviously they do get quite bad. No matter how much we clean them, you can still not always get the mould out, no matter how I've cleaned stuff. So I've replaced it so many times since we've lived here. And we've been here a good nearly 15 years, so it's always handy to have one of those. And also my Poundland and the one I went to yesterday, they didn't actually have any in store, but they normally have the squeeze thing that you have to put inside it to make it work. They're normally only £1, which is good because we know Poundland's not pound anymore. But yeah, that's a good thing. It's so much cheaper because these could be like £6-7+ when you go into like B&Q and Wickes's. I don't know how much they are in the other cheap stores, but you definitely need the pushy pulley thing in there. One thing that I did pick up, which I was going to use for Christmas, but I didn't because I brought a different one, was one of these. I know it's as you can see, you know what it is. It's sellotape, but it comes with the little dispenser, and also it has the extra rolls as well. So I picked up 3 of those because obviously I know that I can still go to Poundland, but I wanted to be able to pick up some while they were at the, and then I go for it on the floor at the discount. So I think that was £1, and I think these were £1 each as well, minus the discount. I think I paid about 90p for all of the, each of these, which was amazing. I was so chuffed with it. I actually bought a big sellotape dispenser, which are £2, and I did use that one over Christmas, which you just put the regular sellotape inside, which was such a help. It was such a help wrapping the presents and obviously birthdays and stuff. And just some bog standard boring kitchen foil because we needed some. The only one that they actually had on display was the huge long one, which I call the turkey one. It was actually called the extra wide. But I said to my husband, I was like, no, because that won't fit in the drawer. Then we went to near the front where we were cashing out, and there was some sitting there, so I was quite chuffed with that. So yeah, one of my favourite things that is a must in my home is one of these. I know they're called, I think they're like litter pickers, what they called in there. A Hanon long reach grabber. These are so handy, especially down the back of my sofa here, because it's quite a tall sofa, and if I stand on the sofa and bend over to reach anything that I've dropped down the back, it ain't happening without breaking a rib. So these are very, very helpful, and it's obviously helpful when people that can't bend down or they can't pick it. So like for instance, I'm gonna pick up the sellotape that's trying to roll underneath the sofa. Ta-da! So much easier. So these were £1 as well. I've had quite a few of these. They do break these bits here, if I can get it to you. They don't always sit flush, which don't help. It really doesn't help. So being £1, it's an absolute bargain. So that's my first haul of the 2026 done. It won't be my last one from Poundland. It was just the last one from my store. So thank you very much for joining me. Please consider subscribing and liking if you're feeling generous. And thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you on my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.